Washington Post, 8 August 2023, China hacked Japan's defense networks, and the results were shockingly bad. Just as the U.S. was coming to terms with a historic SolarWinds attack, the National Security Agency found in the fall of 2020 that Chinese military hackers had infiltrated some of Japan's most secure computer networks. China's influence persisted even during the election of a new president. That is the subject of an in-depth article published by my colleague Ellen Nakashima on Monday afternoon. On Twitter, which has since been renamed X, Bonnie Glaser, managing director of the German Marshall Fund's Indo-Pacific program, described the tale as significant. Furthermore, Beijing is keen to project influence across the Western Pacific. Ellen wrote about the initial discovery, according to 3 former senior U.S. officials, who were among a dozen current and former U.S. and Japanese officials interviewed, who spoke on the condition of anonymity because of the matter's sensitivity. The hackers had deep, persistent access and appeared to be after anything they could get their hands on: plans, capabilities, assessments of military shortcomings. It was shockingly awful, a former U.S. military officer who was informed on the incident, which hasn't been publicized before, recalled. Furthermore, Ellen stated that even with Japan's subsequent enhancements, they are still deemed not sufficiently secure from Beijing's prying eyes. Japan says it will strengthen its cyber defenses even more. In an interview, the cabinet press secretary for Prime Minister Fumio Kishida, Noriyuki Shikata, stated that the government of Japan intends to strengthen its cybersecurity response capabilities to be equal to or surpass the level of leading Western countries. According to Ellen, Japan's new national security plan enshrines this goal along with active cyber defense, or a form of offense as defense hacking. Japanese Defense Minister Yasukazu Hamada stated Tokyo is responding to cyber attacks through a variety of initiatives after Ellen's story was published. Still, he would not go into detail about any specific occurrences. At a press conference, Hamada stated, "We have not confirmed that any confidential information held by the Ministry of Defense has been leaked. There haven't been any instances of cyber attacks interfering with the SDF's mission execution." Not a license to hunt. One of the story's themes is Japan's unwillingness to accept American assistance. One noteworthy aspect of the article is that Japan expressed caution about Cyber Command sending hunt-forward teams, which search for foreign intrusions, to their territory. As per the statement of the former military official, they felt uneasy with the military of another country on their networks. Cyber Command stated that as of the beginning of May, it has sent its Cyber National Mission Force 47 times to 22 different nations to carry out hunt operations on more than 70 networks worldwide. Most recently, a news release from Cyber Command stated that a team had made a second deployment to Latvia. According to Cyber Command, the Canadian Armed Forces and the United States collaborated on a 3-month operation in Latvia that discovered malware for examination. Russian and pro-Russian hackers have been targeting Latvia for years, even throughout the conflict in Ukraine. "We can strengthen our mutual resilience and deter cyber threat actors with our trusted allies," the US and Canada, stated in a news release by Biba Kaskina, General Manager of CERT, LV, Latvia's primary cybersecurity response organization. Only cooperation and defensive cyber operations in the real world will be able to do this. We can make sure that hostile cyber actors have a more challenging time targeting our state infrastructure thanks to the defensive cyber operations we carry out. However, Japan is not the only country that doubts the future of Cyber Command. General Aymeric Bonamaison, the commander of France's Cyber Defense Command, expressed his concerns before a commission last year, saying that he thought the hunt-forward operations of Cyber Command in Europe, which were relatively aggressive, may pave the way for espionage. Ellen's account also demonstrates that American attempts to intensify Japan's reaction did not have the desired impact on policymakers. The article states, Matthew Pottinger, the White House Deputy National Security Advisor at the time, and General Paul Nakasone, the head of the NSA and U.S. Cyber Command, raced to Tokyo because the 2020 penetration was so concerning. After being briefed, the defense minister became so worried that he made arrangements for them to notify the Prime Minister personally. According to an official comment cited in the story, they stressed that the cyber attack was among the worst in Japan's history and left thinking they had made a point. Instead, Ellen notes that cybersecurity and defense officials realized the problem had festered by early January, as the Biden administration was settling in. Import in the future. The cyber attacks on Japan make one wonder how much intelligence sharing between the US and Tokyo is appropriate, given Tokyo's network vulnerabilities. However, a good number of characters in the narrative make the argument that America isn't flawless there either. Sharing is the only option because Japan is a necessary ally of the United States in the area. For many years, there has been discussion of Japan joining the Five Eyes, an international intelligence alliance. There were holes in Ellen's tale that made some question the likelihood of a Six Eyes partnership. The German Marshall Fund's deputy director for Asia, Tobias Harris, posted on the social media site Blue Sky that the next time someone floats the "why not include Japan in Five Eyes" question, it's essential to keep in mind Tokyo's image as spy heaven, a word the report elaborates on. To this report, Lisa Rain and Olivier Knox contributed. The set of keys. The White House calls a summit on K-12 school cybersecurity priorities. Today, White House representatives will meet to discuss the Biden administration's top goals for safeguarding K-12 educational systems against cyber attacks. Professor Jill Biden, the First Lady, will host the summit that is anticipated to take place this morning. Secretary of Education Miguel Cardona and Secretary of DHS Alejandro Mayorkas will accompany her. Deputy Secretary of Education Cindy Martin, FBI Deputy Director Paul Abate, CISA Director Jen Easterly, FCC Chair Jessica Rosenworcel, and other officials, including Superintendent of the Los Angeles Unified School District Alberto Carvalho, are also anticipated to attend. Ann Neuberger, the Deputy National Security Advisor for Cyber and Emerging Technology, told reporters in a press conference held before the event that the administration wants to provide schools with the knowledge to prevent cyber attacks, resources for modern technologies, and enough staffing to concentrate on cybersecurity. Neuberger is anticipated to make remarks at the meeting as well. Neuberger said the government has been aware of cyber attacks on schools in several states, including Arizona, California, Washington, Massachusetts, West Virginia, Minnesota, New Hampshire, and Michigan. Before the event, the private sector made several voluntary pledges, and representatives from that sector will be present to discuss the resources. A grant program for school districts and state departments of education and free security training for K-12 IT employees are two of Amazon Web Services' $20 million commitments. Jeff Bezos, the creator of Amazon, owns The Washington Post. Patty Stone-Cipher, the acting CEO, is a board member of Amazon. Cloudflare will make a range of cybersecurity solutions available to public school districts with fewer than 2,500 students. All U.S. schools and districts will receive free or heavily discounted courses, training, and tools from K-12 software supplier PowerSchool. Google released an updated handbook to help schools maintain the security of their Google hardware or devices. The learning platform provider D2L promised to make new cybersecurity courses available through reliable third parties. Speaking under the auspices of a press conference, senior administration officials said these pledges were made recently through the White House and Education Department's interactions with the private sector. At a hacker gathering, AI models go through coherence tests supported by the White House. According to our colleague Willa Ramus, top AI companies like Google, OpenAI, Anthropic, and Stability AI have offered to test their newest chatbots and picture producers by hackers to discover if their underlying language models can be attacked. The tests will take place later this week at the DEF CON hacking convention in Las Vegas. They will be the first public red teaming contest for AI language models, in which hackers attempt to uncover methods to make AI systems perform erratically so their creators may try fixing them before they cause harm. According to Will, the White House supports the Generative Red Team challenge to encourage responsible innovation in artificial intelligence, AI. This developing field has sparked a wave of excitement, funding, and anxiety. The competition highlights the growing interest in applying red teaming exercises, a well-established practice in the IT industry, to cutting-edge AI systems like OpenAI's ChatGPT language model, he continues, particularly among tech critics and government regulators. There are many uses for generative AI systems. However, experts in AI have cautioned that these uses could be used maliciously to develop bioweapons by terrorist organizations or rogue regimes. The competition is intended to assist in identifying and eliminating these possible habits as well as other ingrained prejudices that may harm underprivileged groups. According to Will, the event may also filter out instances in which models are the target of prompt attacks, which subvert a language model's instructions, and data poisoning, in which the training data of a model is taken advantage of to alter its behavior or results. According to a report, cyber threats to healthcare have increased by almost 60% since 2022. According to a new analysis that will be made available later today, cybersecurity vulnerabilities in medical hardware, operating systems, and software applications have increased by 59% yearly. The nonprofit Health Information Sharing and Analysis Center, Health Isaac, supply chain security company Finite State, and cyber vulnerability detection company Securin conducted the collaborative research. The findings coincide with the widespread cyber attacks that have forced several U.S. healthcare systems to stop using specific medical devices and switch to paper record keeping. In 2023, 993 vulnerabilities affecting 966 healthcare items were found, as opposed to approximately 600 vulnerabilities at the same time last year. According to the research, 43 are classified as flaws that let hackers take over systems and increase their network control. This makes them highly alluring to people looking to access data in healthcare settings. Most of the vulnerabilities listed in the report, 64%, are related to software applications. Operating systems and hardware account for 9% and 27% of the vulnerabilities. The bulk of vulnerabilities were discovered in what the study classified as Class 2 equipment, which includes software applications and IT infrastructure, as well as general healthcare IT management systems like CT scanners and anesthetic monitoring devices. Because medical devices are so interconnected and interoperable, ransomware attacks on hospitals and health systems can be highly destructive, as previously highlighted by the Cybersecurity 202. In June, a Department of Health and Human Services representative testified before a House hearing that the organization discovered that almost every hospital it examined had some medical equipment running software with known vulnerabilities or operating systems that were no longer maintained.